All right, we're back. It's episode number 6 of Average Jim's Cooking Show, and what we're doing tonight, we're doing a basic sauce for pasta. It's called a Bolognese or ragu. It's a very hearty, meaty sauce. It's just very rustic and easy to make. A lot of simple, good ingredients. I appreciate everyone watching the past episodes on YouTube and leaving me your comments. Keep it up. So we'll go to the ingredients here. I've got about 2.5 pounds of ground beef. I've got a pound of ground pork, about half a pound of bacon. You're supposed to use pancetta, which is an Italian bacon. It was about $11 a pound, so I stuck with good old American bacon. I've got 2 carrots, 3 celery stalks, a small red onion. I've got about 8 ounces of tomato puree, a small little bottle of red wine, about 8 ounces of milk, salt, pepper. We've got some fresh herbs. This is about a good handful of parsley, maybe 2-3 tablespoons. I don't know. I didn't measure it. Some fresh basil, about a tablespoon there, and this is about a teaspoon of dried rosemary. And the sauce we're going to serve with some fettuccine tonight. So I'm going to finish getting prepped, and there we go. I'm going to finish prepping all the ingredients, and we'll come back and get cooking here in a few minutes. Be right back. Okay, we're back. We're going to go ahead and get started on our meat here. I'm going to cook this in a nice big pot. So we're just going to shred this up a little bit, get our pork in here. And the reason I'm cooking the meat separate, and I'm going to cook the vegetables in a separate pan real quick, is because I want to drain a lot of the fat out of here. I don't want it to be a very greasy dish. There's, about 4 pounds of meat going into this. We're going to get enough fat out of the bacon. So we're going to go ahead and put that in the pot right now. I'm just going to get cleaned up a little bit. And then we're going to come over to this pan over here. We got a hot pan going. Again, just a little bit of oil in the pan. I went ahead and I prepped. You can see the onion, the celery, and the carrots, shredded it, diced it up, nice and fine. In France, this is called a mirepoix. It's the onion, celery, and carrots. If it's in Cajun cooking, you'll see it done. They call it the Trinity. It's onion, celery, and peppers. And even in Spanish cooking, they call it a sofrita. They use peppers and onions and all that. So we're going to get that in. Let those vegetables all start to cook, come together, and might as well, we can go ahead and just add our bacon in now. I went ahead and diced that up as well. So we're just going to put that right into the pan, and everything's going to cook together. We're going to get a lot of flavor, a lot of sweetness out of the red onions and the carrots. So we're just going to go ahead and let that cook for a few minutes, and then we'll be right back. I've got all that meat, the hamburger and the ground pork ground off, and I drained all the fat out of there. And we've got our vegetables and bacon all together here. Now, the reason I didn't, cook the bacon first, I didn't want it to be a real crispy bacon. It would change the texture too much, and it would just seem weird with a pasta sauce. So what it's doing, it is definitely cooking. It's going to stay soft, and you'll definitely get a lot of the bacon flavor mixed in with the vegetables. So we're going to take that, and we're just going to pour all that mixture right in with our meat. Get everything in there in the pot. We're going to take our tomato puree. Again, this is a meat sauce with some tomato. This isn't a tomato sauce with meat. That's a quote I had heard one time. We're going to come in about 8 ounces of water. I didn't tell you that before, but we're just going to add that in there too. Now, you saw that I had milk earlier. We're going to add that later. As we finish cooking, this is going to simmer. The longer you can let it go, you want to let it go at least an hour for everything to come together. So we're going to start mixing it there a little bit, and then we're going to come back. All of our spices I showed you earlier, the parsley, the basil, the rosemary, we're just going to dump all that right in there, and then we're going to come back with that little bottle of wine. It's maybe 8 ounces. So you know, when you're cooking with wine, it's okay if you have kids because all the alcohol cooks out. So you're going to pour that right in there. I know some of you out there might not appreciate that. You'd rather have it in a glass than in the pot, but that's how we're going to do it. And then we're also going to take some black pepper, some fresh black pepper, get that in there, about 12 good cranks on that. So we're basically, you know, we've got pretty much everything together for our Bolognese sauce. So we're going to let it go here. We're just going to mix everything together in the pot and then put a lid on it. Like I said, we're going to let that go about an hour and we'll check on it then. We'll see in a little bit. Okay, we're back. We're going to check on our sauce there. Looks pretty good. Now, while you're cooking it, a lot of the moisture is going to come out, so I've added some milk into it already to kind of keep a little bit of liquid in there. You can see it's really pretty thick. It's almost, you know, hardly any liquid. So we're going to pour a little bit more milk in there, and you know, we're going to keep that simmering up. You know, when you get towards the end, which, you know, we're pretty close to for this, you can let it simmer for quite a while, or, you know, when you get close to the end, about 15 minutes, you're going to want to start on your pasta. So we've got a big pot of water going, and there's a little trick if you want to measure pasta. You can use 2 fingers for 2 servings, 3 fingers. You just wrap your hand around it. So we're just going to go ahead and just set that into the pot, spread it out a little bit. As it cooks, it'll come down, but I want to keep it nice big pieces. So what we're going to do, we're going to go ahead and put the lid back on the sauce, let the pasta go. It takes about 12 minutes with fettuccine, and then we'll be back and we'll start plating everything up. Okay, you can see our sauce. We're pretty much done with that. So what we're going to do, we've got a little pan over here. We're going to take a couple of good scoops right into the pan, and this is just going to help kind of pull everything together. We've got our pasta back here. Just take a bunch of that into the pan here. We're just going to kind of incorporate everything together so we can put it onto our plate. Again, this is a pretty long dish to make. It takes usually about an hour at least to let everything simmer. If you can let it go longer, that's great. So we're just going to come over to our plate and we're just going to pour everything on it just like that. And then to garnish it, I've got some fresh Parmesan cheese. We're just going to come over the top just like that, as much as you want, and some chopped parsley. We're just going to go around the plate just like that. Now I'm serving it with bruschetta, which is just tomato, basil, some olive oil, vinegar, and Parmesan. So there you go. There's pasta and Bolognese sauce. Alright, there you go. That was pasta with Bolognese sauce. I enjoyed making it. I'm definitely going to enjoy eating it. I hope you enjoyed watching. If you want to leave any comments again on YouTube or Facebook, I'd appreciate it. If you have any ideas or suggestions, feel free to let me know. We'll be back soon. I'm not sure what we're going to do next, but I have a feeling, I heard off camera, it might be lasagna. So we'll see you next time, everybody. Take care.